What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're back again with our AEW on TBS review for January the 13th, January 19th, 2021. We had the return of Jon Moxley and the most egotistical, selfish son of a bitch known as Cody Rhodes, who gives no shit about the advancement of AEW and would rather make it all about him. But anyway, we also had Darby Allin and Sting versus The Acclaim in the main event. Lance Archer has his first match on TV since the injury with against Eddie Kingston. And the Kings of the Black Throne make their in-ring debut. All of that tonight and more on AEW's TBS third show. And I will admit it right now, this was by far the best show we have seen on TBS. Week 1 was an absolute dumpster fire. Week 2, a little bit better, but they had a couple things here and there. Tonight, I think, was where we get AEW back on the right track. News coming before the show started, it was notified that Kyle O'Reilly was not around because he had a daughter. So congratulations to Kyle and his wife. Good on them. I hope everything is great, and we'll see him back in about 2-3 weeks. Now, also, there was news that Cody Rhodes is a free agent. Everyone's like, oh, Cody's a free agent. Cody's going to go to the WWE. Cody's going to take the TNT title. He's going to go win the Royal Rumble. He's going to face Roman Reigns. Cut the shit. It's all fucking work. Cody Rhodes is what do you call it? An EVP. The Young Bucks said this on BT a couple weeks ago. They signed a contract for 5 years, 2019. But it was 3 years guaranteed, with the 2 other years would roll over. They wanted it to roll over, and it rolled over, and they had 2 more years. Nobody from the year oneers, and nobody who comes into AEW is signing anything that goes past the year 2024. Why? Because AEW is going to be in contract negotiations with Warner Media for more money, so when they get a new TV rights deal, people like a Jon Moxley, like a Young Bucks, like an Adam Hangman Page, like a Bryan Danielson, like a Adam Cole, every single one of them are going to get a pay raise because AEW is going to have more money to spare. Cody is probably, it's all going to be just them doing all work. We have a mention of him being a free agent tonight? No, of course not. I don't buy it for one. Probably signed the same exact deal that the Young Bucks signed. A 5-year deal with 3 guaranteed and 2 that roll over after that. I don't buy any of the shit. I could totally buy AEW just feeding the dirt sheets. Oh yeah, Cody's a free agent. I mean, it's kind of convenient how the Forbidden Door talk with Mickie James going to the Royal Rumble and WWE supposedly wanting somebody in the Men's Rumble too for the Forbidden Door. All of a sudden, Cody is a free agent. No talk of it on the first 2 weeks of the year. As soon as the Forbidden Door talk for WWE started, and everybody speculated that it would be Chris Jericho or Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley, or Cody himself would make a shot into the Royal Rumble that, oh look, Cody somehow, someway for the last few weeks has had his contract expire, has been a free agent. Bullshit. I don't buy it worth a shit. It's just AEW trolling the fans, letting you go, hey, one of our founding fathers of this company, somebody we put the TNT Championship on in a pathetic nostalgia moment, is a free agent. Our current actual TNT champion is not signed to a contract. I don't buy it. Well, that is all the news that I have that I can think of. Now, let's talk about the show. As Jon Moxley is the first man out, he comes out to a huge reaction. He ate his beard. He has some peach fuzz, but he doesn't have a big beard. And he's about ready to try to talk, and some jackass, who's probably a Jim Cornette butt sniffer, or shit sniffer, started to chime out and say, "Get a dumpster and get the trash out the ring." Jon Moxley's like, "Hey, go fuck yourself and get that guy out of here." So that got a huge pop as well. But not just about the speech. Like, you just listen, you just look at the crowd. Everybody is silent. Nobody is wanting to disturb Jon Moxley and what Jon Moxley has to say on this television. Probably one of the most important speeches that been said on TV in a while. Jon Moxley is just that great of a guy, that much respected. AEW fans love their Jon Moxley, and thankfully AEW put this on their YouTube channel, so we're going to hear this as soon as I don't want to get copyrighted with Wild Thing, because he's still using the I think it's Joan Jett version of Wild Thing. So I'm gonna try and skip forward here so you can listen to Jon Moxley's words, because I can't do him justice.
A little while ago, go yourself. Get that guy out of here.
Now they beat it here.
Well, he ain't changed much.
Do you expect Jon Moxley to change much at all? I mean, he's not going to be drinking, hopefully, at all. Yeah.
It was a little while ago. I fell asleep on a plane. We landed. I don't even know what city it was. I hit the ground. I woke up out of a dream. It was a bad dream.
Quiet.
Got it, but I was side of the road. I was on my hands and knees, bruised and cut up, and black out. A demon that follows you around your whole life. Follows you around for years. These demons come in all shapes and sizes for everybody. Cloud, he's laughing at me. Do everything, or everything you become, everything you have in your life is good. None of that was supposed to happen. None of that belongs to you. Where do you get off thinking you were going to make out with all that? And the cloud, this demon, he asked me, he says, really think you're going to make it out? The nerve of you, did you really think you were going to make it out? I woke up before I had a chance to answer him. Nobody gets through life unscathed. We all carry scars. I have more scars on my body than the average person, but those aren't important. The important ones are the scars we carry inside, hard to see. Sometimes we try and cover up these scars. Sometimes we try to pretend these scars aren't there. Those are the scars that we should be proud of. Those are the scars that tell our story. Those are the scars that give us strength. Those are the scars that make us the people we are. Hell, nobody's perfect, all right? If everybody was perfect, the world would be a very boring place. So nobody, no matter who you are, should be afraid to stand up in front of the whole world and bear it all. Everything that makes you the person that you are, scars it all, and say, hey, this is me. So, that being said, I'm sure there are plenty of people somewhere around the world, plenty of people who are writing me off. I'm sure there are plenty of people who doubt me. You know what? It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time. But if you want to write me off now, if you want to doubt me, then say whatever you tell you. Black demon cloud hanging over me in my dream. You can take all that shit and shove it right up your ass. I don't run from demons. I just beat the shit out of them. And for everybody in this building and for everybody all around the world that's had my back, that supported me through thick and thin, then buckle up and get ready, because we're going on a ride, baby, in the year of 2022. I am going on a pilgrimage. I'm going to grab the world of professional wrestling by the balls and do whatever the hell I want, because now, more than ever, more than anybody in this business, I am truly free. I'll tell you this, I've been to hell. Wouldn't recommend it, but it is very, very liberating. There is no hell that can be put upon me in this ring that I haven't been through, and worse. So if there's anybody in AEW, anybody all around the world that thinks for hell that I've already been through, know this. That was dangerous. Or days, all I drink is blood.
I have never heard a crowd be so silent. That was fantastic. That was great. Anybody goes and shit on that, you are a pathetic piece of shit and you should just shut the fuck up and never do this again. It's great to have Jon Moxley back. Jon Moxley has been missed. AEW has felt like it's missed something without Jon Moxley being there. And thankfully, the guy is back. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with him. Now, I don't know, it was obviously from day one, not day one, but obviously since, the start of the tournament that they were doing, Eliminator Tournament, in that promo he cut right before the Eliminator Tournament started, that he was going to beat everybody, embarrass everybody, and then go on to win the Eliminator Tournament to take on the winner of Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. And then, in return, turning heel. Obviously, demons and everything caught up, and he had to go and do what he needed to do to be better. All good on him. Hopefully, everything is in working order and everything will be great. So, my question is did we miss out on a good Jon Moxley heel turn? Are we going to have the old Jon Moxley we had before he started to go down that heel road, or they're going to crank that back up and eventually he's going to turn heel again? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have this first match back on Rampage this coming Friday. A live edition of Rampage this coming Friday. So, good stuff. MJF's backstage and Wardlow's behind him. He says last week it was an embarrassment to the sport. MJF is not happy the fact that CM Punk didn't take the loss on the chin like a man. He grabbed some Wardlow's hair and tights to pick up the win. He says if Wardlow had a little bit more seasoning, he might have been able to reverse it and kick out. However, he said then apologized to him for saying he has been a friend, and since today is his birthday, that he is what he gets. Although after Wardlow put his hands on MJF last week, he decided he needs to dock his pay. Then says tonight, Sean Spears will show Wardlow and everyone else how it's done and beat CM Punk. Methinks not. Moving on. Adam Cole in the AEW Women's Champion, his girlfriend versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander mixed tag team match. This is not an intergender match. This is a mixed tag team match. So the men fight the men, the women fight the women, all that jazz. Even though this is AEW, so a little men on women violence does tend to happen in these matches. So looks like we're gonna have the two women start, but the champ tags out. Adam Cole comes in. So he has to go out. So when Cassidy come in, Adam Cole does the same exact thing. And then Cassidy's getting ready to square up with Adam Cole. Now, it just goes back and forth a little bit, and then we have the match eventually. Of course, everyone just gets into it. I'm gonna be honest. This is the Faker's best match she's ever had in AEW, because it was with Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, Statlander, and they could do what they could to make her look good. Because let's just be honest, she sucks. Even though she was not without her botches, because She is not just the AEW Women's Champion, but she is the Queen of Botches, with Jade Cargill right behind her. So, like, this match goes all over the place. You have Adam Cole sending Orange Cassidy to the outside. He wants to do a Panama Sunrise outside. You got back and forth, left and right, everyone getting their shit in, as usual. Now, Adam Cole, Panama Sunrise on Orange Cassidy towards the end of the match. Orange Cassidy kicks out. So Cole's like, I've had enough. Calls this woman over, they go over and he tells the timekeeper people to move their shit and get out of the way, we're gonna use this table. So they both pick the table up and they take it over. And my screen froze for about 3 seconds after this, so I had no idea how it happened. But they go to do something. Orange goes for the orange punch by Cole, rolls it. He hits the champ. He falls into the table. When the referee goes to check on her, you just see Adam Cole's face go eat red. He has the most pissed off look on his face. Rest not looking. He goes, Orange Cassidy, the hardest low blow I think I have ever seen. Pulls down the knee pad, hits the boom. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole picks up the win for his team. Goes help his lady out, and that is that. Now, go backstage. And Chris Jericho and Santana Ortiz are shown backstage. Jericho says he doesn't care about Kingston. He can GFY, go fuck yourself. However, the tag team point out, you might not care about him, but we do. And Santana's like, on top of that, he mentioned something last week. Maybe you're the reason we're not tag team champions. Chris, when have you been there for us? Like, I've always been there for you. He's like, no. Santana's like, when have you been there for us, really? Maybe next week, in the 6-man tag match, the Inner Circle versus 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, we'll worry about ourselves, not this. Do you feel that? So, dissension in the ranks of the Inner Circle. Honestly, it feels like the Inner Circle needs to have time as a group has come and gone. Where's Jake Hager? He's probably getting ready for his next MMA fight. I mean, they had the feud with the Pinnacle, and then it seemed like like for the first year and a half, when they went away with COVID or whatever, the Inner Circle were inseparable. They were everywhere together and did everything together. Then they had the thing with MJF. They were still together and everything. Then they had the feud with the Pinnacle, and it's just Sammy Guevara won the TNT title. He's been on his own for a bit. Jericho's doing his thing. The Titan Powerful doing their thing. Hager's whatever. It just feels like they need to end the Inner Circle. They really do. Santana and Ortiz should be in the tag team division's title picture. That's so much that needs to get done. And we'll see what happens next week. That is going to be happening at each break. Now, Adam Cole is backstage with Marvez, and Marvez tells him to get out. Wait, is it Tony Schiavone? Doesn't matter. Says, Orange Cassidy has been a thorn in my side for too long. What more do I have to do? I beat you in singles matches, tag matches, mixed tag team matches. How about next week at Beach Break? How about a no disqualification, falls count anywhere, anything goes, no DQ, lights out match? This is where Orange Cassidy gets his victory over Adam Cole. You want to know why? Because it's a lights out match and it will not go against Adam Cole's record. Orange Cassidy can claim he's beat Adam Cole, but Orange Cassidy's win will not count against his record. So you save and protect Adam Cole being undefeated in AEW in a singles capacity, while also giving Orange Cassidy that victory that he needs against an Adam Cole. So I see no losers in this match. Now, next week, Beach Break is in Cleveland, Ohio. A lot of people are speculating maybe this is the match that gets us Johnny Gargano in All Elite Wrestling. Will that be the case? Have to wait and see. Johnny Gargano apparently on his Twitch streams has been hinting at wanting to get back into the ring. I mean, he did watch that the Ziggy Dice Outlandish Paradise this past weekend or something on Twitch. Loved it. He said he loves independent wrestling. Maybe he's going to get that itch again. not being in wrestling for about 2 months now. Yeah, I can totally see Cleveland, Ohio being destination for Johnny Gargano's debut. Now, Johnny Gargano is in Florida, so he's not living in Cleveland, but it is where he grew up. I've known Johnny Gargano for 17 years. Yeah, about 17 years. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens this week. It should be great. The last Lights Out match does need to, it will be topped easily. The Rosa carried that match, and this time it's going to be two guys who can both carry the load equally, give us a damn good Lights Out match. Now, CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. This match lasted about 2.5 minutes. Now, before anybody bitches and complains that CM Punk beat Shawn Spears in about 2 minutes, oh, but if it happened in WWE, you people would shit all over it. No. Because it wouldn't make any sense. Shawn Spears is not on CM Punk's level. CM Punk isn't like, if you go from a scale of 1 to 10 on levels, CM Punk is at a 9.5 to a 10 depending on the week. Shawn Spears is at like a 4 to 5. If CM Punk would have lasted, if Shawn Spears would have lasted with CM Punk more than 2 minutes, I think it would have been a bad thing. This was booked perfectly. It's all leading to MJF versus CM Punk. Only question I have is, will it be at Beach Break next week? And if it's not, what do they do to get us to Revolution? We got another full month. We have next week, which is Beach Break, and then we have 4 weeks and 5 weeks, right? 5 weeks. 5 weeks till Beach Break. Until Revolution, not Beach Break. Revolution. How do we spend the next 5 weeks getting Punk MJF to that show? I do not know. So we go backstage and we see that Billy Gunn meets up with Christian. He enters the building. He tells him that his boys are ranked in the top 5. And it's like, you guys put out the challenge that anyone in the top 5 should get a title shot. He says they all have it. But it's like, yeah. There's no denying the talents of Colton and Austin Gunn. Have your genes. They're your boys. But when push comes to shove, you never were able to get that statement win. Make a statement and we'll talk. And Billy Kazman says, don't you walk away from me. Just then the Gun Glove lay him out, beat him up, and leave him laying. They say statement made. What is that? The most egotistical egomaniac, Cody Rhodes, makes his way to the ring. Go to commercial break. During it, picture in picture, he brings out a very tall ladder, like twice the height of a normal ladder, and sets it in the ring. He says it reminds him of the last match he had about a man who sat on stage and gave one of the most important speeches of all time. He's talking about the pipe bomb and CM Punk. Someone told him to save this promo, but but he doesn't know if he will get a chance to do it, so he's doing it now. Cody says that promo, CM Punk said things that were taboo at the time. As fate would have it, Punk couldn't do those things. A Royal Rumble chant then breaks out. Which, no, I do, like, even if AEW was open to having somebody in their company go work for WWE, and WWE was open to doing it, no, I don't want to see AEW. Until Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and John Laurinaitis are gone from the company, Nick Khan is gone from the company, and we have somebody like Triple H running that show, I don't want any partnership between AEW and WWE, minus some video footage for the network or whatever. He goes back on to Punk and says he is enjoying the comeback of a decade. However, in the void that Punk left behind, someone did everything that Punk said that he would do, and that was me. He did it and the fans cheered. He says he won't turn heel because when he needed the fans, they cheered him on the most. Says people talk about the forbidden door, but if you are a journalist and disagree with what he says, then you're doing it wrong. He says before there was a door, he was the one who built it. Of course you were. No. If anybody built the forbidden door or started started the foundation of the Forbidden Door, it was Colt fucking Cabana. Don't even try that, Cody. He said he was gone for 2 weeks, and then the Young Bucks almost started Wednesday Night War again, as well as while Red Dragon passed hip toss class, he doesn't need to see the Bucks defeat them again. He then says the lethal injection is one of the one cutter people don't kick out of when he was referring to Ricky Starks, so avoid. He does mention that him and Ricky Starks are actually best friends outside of WWE, outside of AEW, behind the scene. And yes, he does put over the lethal injection. That is very good. And I do want to see Ricky Starks versus Jay Lethal for that FTW title very, very soon. Then it says there's not about naming talent, but it's all come down to you come into this company and call yourself Brody, you got balls. It will let you know how much in 8 years when that kid, Brody Jr., shows up. And says AEW doesn't have secondary titles, but the only reason they do now is there are 2. And he says it's clear what they should be done. He knows Tony Khan has sent a contract in the mail. Maybe it's not the one he wanted. But he says at Beach Break, 2 titles, 1 champion. What do you say, Sammy? Climbs the ladder and holds up his TNT championship. It will be a good match. I'm not going to sit there and say it's not going to be a good match, but honestly, if Sammy Guevara doesn't win next week, it's a waste of time. Okay, so let's see. Backstage, we find out that on Friday we're gonna have a TBS title match. Which is weird that you had the TBS title defended on TNT, but whatever. You have the TNT title defended on TBS, whatever. And it's going to be Anna Jay taking on Jade Cargill, which is an absolute joke because Jade Cargill fucking sucks. And the fact that you have to have Anna Jay go out there and lose to this fucking green as grass piece of shit is beyond me. Don't care. Anyway, House of Black. The Kings of the Black Throne versus Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. Now, ever since she's returned with the Varsity Blondes, Julia Hart has been wearing the eye patch. She hasn't come out in her cheerleader outfit. She had a new attitude. Last time on Dark, she didn't get up on the ring apron and jump under the ring with them. They're the outside, and for the most part in that match, she was actually talking to a little girl on the side, not even paying attention to the match. And I'm thinking, if you're going to have Julia Hart join the House of Black, it's got to be tonight. It's got to be tonight. Why would you not have, if you're going to do anything with her in this new attitude, it's got to be tonight because the Kings of the Black Throne, of course, are going to win this match. If they do win this match, they're done with the Varsity Blondes. So what other opportunity are you going to have? Obviously, they didn't do that. Another story that they did in this match is the fact that last time that Brian Pillman was in the ring with Malachi Black, he attempted his air Pillman and slipped up and got kicked in the face. And it was a botch, obviously. But I like the fact that AEW was able to bring that botch forward and bring it into storyline where Brian Pillman getting ready to try and do air Pillman and he keeps trying to jump up and he's like, no, I can't do it. I can't do this. He just can't get it. And he gets down and he's just like got his hands on his head, hands on his head, and like, I can't do it. I fucked up last time and got beat. I can't do it. He's just losing his mind. Griff Garrison's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Now, Brody King comes out from the other side, runs over, and Pillman gets out of the way, charges into Garrison. Garrison falls over and smacks his head. I swear he actually hit his head off the ring steps and was down for a good minute or two. So Pillman ends up eating a house, what they call it? Shit. Hit the finisher. They called it something. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head. They pick up the win. Kings of the Black Throne the win. Now, Malachi gets the mic and says, members of the House of Black, please stand. I was thinking, this is what Julia's she's gonna come in the ring, off the eye patch, have her eye completely covered like Malachi Black. No. He goes dark. Hack is seen on there and he appears and he says now he truly sees Malachi for who he is. Just the same as everyone else in AEW. He is a self-obsessed and power-hungry. Says Black might have some spells, but the bastard is out of his reach. says he's going to make a martyr out of him as he takes off the bandages down, and you see that he can see once again. But, so that is that. So I'm thinking to myself, he walks away. Malachi walks away not happy with all this. What the fuck's going on? He's wondering. I'm thinking, why do you have Julia's attitude change? What is going on? Is she going to join the House of Black? What's going to happen? Now, with the fact that they don't call the Kings of the Black Throne the House of Black, they're a part of House of Black, makes me believe that Brody King and Malachi Black are both going to be able to be single stars as well. They're not just going to be a tag team stuck in the tag team division. They're going to be part of the singles division too. So we're going to see single matches for Brody King. We're going to see single matches for Malachi Black still. Good. So Brandon Cutler's backstage. He's like, Bucks, where are you? He's got his camera ready and all. And he's like, where are you? And we see Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta showing up. They reminisce a bit about the feud with the Young Bucks and the rivalry with the Young Bucks in excuse me, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And they propose a match. How about on Friday, Pongy Vice, for the first time in years, team up one last time on Rampage. There are no spoilers for Rampage tonight because Rampage will be live on Friday. That's right, Jon Moxley is not going to be part of a taped Rampage. Pongy Vice's debut return in AEW, or first match in AEW, is not going to be on a taped Rampage. Rampage is live on Friday. Why is it live on Friday? I couldn't tell you. Last time we had a live Rampage was the week before, well, outside of the Full Gear one. The night before Full Gear. Was the week before Full Gear, because Full Gear was supposed to be in St. Louis. And AEW already booked the venue for Rampage to go with Full Gear. And I don't know what happened with the Full Gear thing and everything, so that was that. This time, I don't have a clue why we have a Rampage live. So that is going to be that. Frankie Kazarian versus Lance Archer with Jake Roberts and Dan Lambert. It feels like Jake Roberts is going to be pulled off of Lance Archer comes out, Jake Roberts and Lambert come out with him, and then Jake Roberts just sticks. Well, that doesn't come down with him, it's just him and Dan Lambert. So this was of course Lance Archer's first match was last night on the Dark Tapings, of course, but this is his first match back on television. And honestly, I think Frankie Kazarian is one of the better guys they could have him go against first. I think it was a really good match. Like Frankie Kazarian, and honestly, if you're gonna have a guy challenge Hangman Page for the title in the near future, and I don't think you get this all the way to Revolution, that should be Adam Cole. Plain and simple, Adam Cole versus Hangman Adam Page is your pay-per-view match. Pay-per-view main event match. Pay-per-view main event. Give me that. Don't give me that bullshit where the Faker deserves to be the main event of the fucking Revolution pay-per-view. Save the first ever women's main event for Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez, or Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida. Thunder Rosa and somebody else who actually can hold a candle to Thunder Rosa. Not the fucking bitch that they're trying to shove down your throat as the greatest women's wrestler of all time. No, fuck that shit. It's Lance Archer and them should be next week, plain and simple. I mean, you're already pushing this thing hard, so it's either got to be next week or very, very soon. I don't see, just like CM Punk and MJF, I don't see if you wanted to put this at Revolution, how you get this match to Revolution for where it's at. It just... So, Lance Archer wins with the blackout. Not much else you need to hear about that. Now, Dan Lambert says Hangman Page and his friends played video games inside. They never went outside. They never drank water from a hose. They never did any of that. They never were real men. And he watched the Toy Story movie and he wanted to be, and oh my god, it's just stupid shit that he says I can't even deal with. It's like, this man, I'm going to tell you what this man is going to do. And Sergio grabs the mic and says, I've had enough of this cowboy shit. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So he goes and grabs Kazarian, throws him out of the ring, grabs a chair, throws it out of the ring. He's going to chokeslam him on a chair. Here comes the champion. Chris Rensburg's there, and Hangman just hands him the title. He slaps Archer, and they start fighting. Archer gets him down, but Hangman pulls his boot off, hits Archer with the boot. So he's gonna go for the buckshot lariat. He goes for the buckshot lariat, but Archer grabs him. He fights out of a chokeslam. He ends up sending Archer away, and that match is coming very, very soon. I don't know what's going on with that. What's gonna happen? Didn't mention it next week. We only had 4 matches announced for next week, and it wasn't this match, so I don't know when this match is gonna happen. So backstage, we hear from Dante Martin, Matt Sydal, and Lee Moriarty. Now, Dante Martin, for a while there, was being, what I want to say, he was being coached and produced and mentored by Sydal. Then Leo Rush came around, and Leo Rush said, was starting to mentor Dante. Then Dante joined Team Taz for about a minute. I don't know why. What happened there? What the fuck that was about? All it did was have him screw Ricky Starks out of the Diamond Ring. Then, well, a couple weeks there, Leo Rush has disappeared. Leo Rush has really just disappeared. And I don't know what's going on with Leo Rush. Is he leaving AEW? Is he upset because the whole Big Swole thing that much that he's leaving AEW? But it's like they reset the whole Dante Martin thing because he's back here with Lee Moriarty. Matt Sydal, and he's like, since Darius has been out, Matt Sydal has been like a brother to me. I got their back. Well, he comes back. Lee Moriarty's like, and Lee Moriarty cut a pretty good promo here. He's like, dude, you had our back. Until Darius comes back, we have yours. Darius is being mentioned a lot more on television now, so he's got to be on his way back soon. Now, Starks and Hobbs then appear in a different place and say nobody is friends, and Hobbs tells him to have people watching the front, his back, all sides, because we make assassins. And we have Tony Schiavone supposed to talk to Red Velvet and Chris Statlander. Layla Hirsch shows up and is like, man, what a match. Maybe if you were actually that focused when you were in our match, we wouldn't have lost. And you cost me thousands of dollars, Scott, Velvet thousands of dollars, and yourself thousands of dollars. And Velvet's like, listen, it happens, miscommunication. Layla Hirsch says, you know what, just shut up. You always take her shot, just shut up. So she beats him up, and I don't give a shit. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any fucking sense. Why are they pissed at each other? Why is Layla Hirsch running be mad at Chris Statlander? What the fuck happened? It makes no sense. This women's division is booked so piss poorly that you're out of heels, even though your women's champion is a fucking heel. Layla Hirsch should be someone who should be challenging for the women's championship down the road. Now she's a fucking heel. Why? Because they got nobody else. I don't fucking know. This company, when it comes to booking women's wrestling, fucking sucks. Bobby Lewis to Serena Deeb, don't really give a shit. Moving on. Tim Pace is backstage with his 2 boys, Ken Lambert and Scorpio Sky. Yeah, backstage, Ethan Page, him and his guys are there and everything. It's like, Jon Moxley made a turn, everybody scattered, but you know who didn't scatter? Me. So, basically, he talks himself in and says, you know what, I want a match with Jon Moxley on Friday. This is Jon Moxley's first match back. And the first match he'll have, and the last match he'll have before he goes to defend the GCW World title against Homicide at the pay-per-view coming up next week. Coming up, yeah, I think this weekend. Then, one of the most head-scratching things about this show, it just feels like Andrade has been miscast, misused, and they don't, this is the sad thing. It feels like only Triple H knew how to use Andrade El Idolo right. It does. Because he goes from NXT, where he got Zelina Vega as his valet business partner. They worked so well down there. Came up to the main roster, did jack shit for the majority of his time there. Then comes over here, does next to nothing outside of a mini feud with Pac and Cody and Black and all that shit. And now, apparently, him and Matt Hardy's business deal was to combine Andrade and his boy Jose, with the HFO to form the HFO. What the hell is this? Does anybody know how to use Andrade right? Is Triple H the only person in professional wrestling as a booker who knew how to book Andrade and made Andrade feel like a big goddamn deal? Andrade is a great wrestler. He's good in the fucking ring. Now you have him mixing up with the HFO, something that has run its course a long time ago, has stunted Private Party, has held back the Butch and the Blade. Hell, H2O is it's H2O. H2, I'm sorry. H2 is hardly seen on TV ever. I don't know where the fuck they've been lately. Now you're gonna put Andrade with Matt Hardy in them. Sooner Jeff comes to AEW, him and his brother can team up and we can end this garbage. This just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. I don't know. And I don't know. I just don't know. Main event time, The Acclaim versus Darby Allin and Sting. Now before the match can get started, after Max Caster rips on WWE's self-mutilation dig. It's kind of hypocritical about Vince McMahon when it came to the self-mutilation garbage. Anyway, they attack Darby Allin. They take a chair to him, they put him in there, and they throw him against the ring post. Darby is deemed unable to compete and brings us to a 2-on-1 handicap match, which Sting wrestles 2-on-1 most of the time anyway. So they're having the match. Of course, the Acclaimed, after Sting early on had dominated the Acclaim for a bit, they of course take over. And eventually, towards the end of the match, Darby comes back because everyone knew he was coming back. And Sting, I don't know why we needed to do this way. Didn't need to have Sting go out there for the first time on TBS since 1999, whenever. There was no reason to have Sting go it alone. Anybody said, no, like, Sting needs to go out there and prove himself. He's done that every single fucking time. How many other times does Sting have to go out there to please jabronis and prove himself? He's done every fucking thing under the sun they've wanted him to do. He doesn't have to prove jack shit to nobody. He's 60 years old. Everything he does. 60 years old. Going out there and even having a match should be enough to say he can do what he can do. Having a competent match, too, should be enough for people to sit down, shut the fuck up, and stop being happy the fact that Sting has to go out there and try and kill himself every time. He even dove off a stage through a table, which I don't think Max Caster was on all the way. So, he does that. Owens gets hit with the Stung Dog, Millionaire. Coffin drop, 1, 2, 3, and the babyfaces pick up the win. Biggest question I have for this is this leading to Sting and Darby Allin versus Jurassic Express at Revolution? I mean, they just beat the #1 tag team on the list. If you want these top 5s to mean something, it should put them close to a championship match, don't you think? That was AEW on TBS. This was probably out of the 3 shows we've had this year. This was by far and away the best show they had in 2022. Hopefully this was the go home show to be. Oh no, I'm sorry. Friday will be the go home show, the Beach Breaker. My bad. We'll probably find out more matches that are going to be happening on Wednesday next week. Rampage is going to have Jon Moxley versus All Ego Ethan Page, Roppongi Vice versus the Young Bucks. Jade Cargill defends the TBS title, no one gives a shit about. And Hook, the real main event, takes on Serpentico. Had a nice little video package during the show of popularity of Hook. I still don't get why everyone is a big fan of Hook. It is what it is. You just have to sit there and deal with it. But that is all for now. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the Frowns Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The Frowns Club. And find me on Instagram at The Frowns Club. And I will see you guys on Friday to a live SmackDown and a live Rampage. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.